You're listening to Bring Me the Axe. I'm Brian White. I'm one half of this morbid equation, and I'm joined by my co-host and brother, Dave White. Hey, Dave, how you doing there?
Oh, thank you for asking. You know, it has been very, very warm here last couple weeks, and well, it's good. It gets me outside, gives me places to go. Today, not so warm, poured like a motherfucker, and I wanted to go to the Queer Zine Fair at the Glad Day bookstore here. Couldn't do it.
Just couldn't get out there. You didn't even have an umbrella.
I have an umbrella, but it was like really pouring for a while. And I stepped outside and I was like, you know what? I can do this. I walk fucking everywhere. And I got like, I don't know, quarter of a mile down the road and was like, nope, not going to do it. This is very unpleasant.
How far away was it? Because this could have been a case of sunk cost fallacy where you get to a point where you're like, oh shit, if I turn around, I'm walking like just like a half mile anyway.
It's probably like a mile.
All right. It's far enough to be unpleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But very walkable city, this.
That's good.
Walking everywhere.
That's good.
I'm a pedestrian, so.
Yeah. Down there, they're expecting, speaking of rains, they're expecting thunderstorms down in Washington, D.C.
And for a bunch of dudes trapped in a metal cage, probably not a good idea.
Yeah, what's real fun.
Or a good idea.
Yeah, it could happen tonight. As of this recording, it hasn't happened yet, but it could happen.
That would be just the greatest.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Like, I would imagine that, like, if it happened as a result of lightning, every evangelical Christian would become the biggest blasphemer tomorrow. Their precious little boy got fried by the hand of God.
Take them all. Get them all while they're there.
Obviously, you know? It's God's problem. I've seen on the ground stuff from there, and it looks miserable. It looks absolutely fucking miserable.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is extremely stupid.
Yeah. And knowing a thing or two about fighting and martial arts, it's also like, even if it doesn't rain, it's gonna fucking suck super hard. Like, they don't do those.
It's like 90 degrees.
Yeah, they don't do those outside. It's also it's really, really fucking humid, because the thing that people very easily forget is that Washington, D.C. is a fucking swamp. And there's insects everywhere. And there are big, bright, hot lights over all of that, all the fighters, over the people. And it's going to attract all those lights, all those insects who are going to fry on those lights and then rain down upon the people below. Fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I'm hoping for at least one heart attack.
But even if that doesn't happen, like the oppression of humidity and heat, like, there's a reason they do those fights indoors. And those guys are all going to get, unless they fucking trained in Thailand, they're all going to gas out in the first round. And then the other two, every fucking match is going to be decided by a judge. And the last 2 rounds of every fight are going to be fucking just slow motion Brazilian jiu-jitsu battles. Oh, it's going to be the worst goddamn thing. I'm so happy that this is happening.
Yeah, it's tacky as hell. You know, just not like if people are into UFC, whatever. I don't give a shit. But like, let's have a little bit of decorum, a little bit of class.
Oh, that shit's gone. That's history, man.
Like, just what are they going to build, like a used car lot on the other side of the? What's next?
Maybe you sell all those unsold Cybertrucks.
Oh, Jesus. No, they sold them all to SpaceX.
Oh, brilliant.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, boy. Well, hey, fingers crossed, you guys. Mm-hmm. Stay focused. It's going to happen.
Maybe, if nothing else, maybe Joe Rogan will be killed.
I saw him at the weigh-ins. Boy, was he gets the sweat under here. Like, dude, yes. He sweats a lot right under his man boobs. And yeah, it's unavoidable. Mm-hmm. The whole thing is just a fucking metaphor for America. Awesome.
It really is. God damn it.
So we practically grew up in neighborhood video stores, and the steady diet of utter garbage that those shops provided us with continues unabated to this day. And there's no one else I enjoy chopping it up with more about trashy movies than Dave. Have we got a trashy one for you tonight?
Ooh, not the kind you'd find at the old video shop.
No. No. And just before we get into it, there's a little housekeeping. If you want to keep up with us between episodes, you can also find us on Instagram at Bring Me the Axe Pod. And Dave's over there at That Queer Wolf. Give us a follow. It's sort of the hub for all things podcast. You know, we got a lot of shit going on. That's where we sort of update all the stuff, keep you updated on everything that's happening. And we got a little daily Pride movies recommendation, and
some real weird ones.
Deep cuts. Like
people haven't been feeling the deep cuts.
At a certain point, I was like, "Are any of these horror movies?"
Which ones? They all are. Well, not all of them.
And then you rolled out a couple ones that I recognized, and I was like, there we go. Yep. And if you don't know, we have another show called 99 Cent Rental, where we cover all manner of video store madness on the weeks that Bring Me the Axes off. Our latest episode covering Making Love with our friend Sean Abley is out now. I got a lot of very unexpected feedback on that one.
Really?
Yeah, a lot, people were like very happy that we covered it. It's like a movie that until we did that movie, I'd never fucking heard of it. And there's like people coming out of the fucking woodwork being like, I'm so glad you covered this movie. I love it.
All right. Yeah. I liked it. I thought it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. I thought it was a great episode. It's a great conversation. Goes deep. It's a good one. Go listen to that if you haven't listened to it. That's out right now. We'll be back next week with a look at a roundup of early queer short films from Kenneth Anger, Curt Harrington, and David Sector in 2 weeks.
They are very, very different films.
Each one of them? Because I think of those ones that you listed, I think I've only seen Fireworks. And that's just because I've got that Kenneth Anger BFI box.
Yep. Yeah, they are 3 extremely different films.
You can also contact us directly at bringmetheaxepod@gmail.com with any questions, comments, or suggestions. Do let us know if there's a movie that you love and would like to hear us give it the business. And if you would like to support us on Patreon, you can look us up over there, patreon.com/bringmetheaxepod. There's a couple of tiers you can join there. All paying members get ad-free episodes. Subscribers at the $5 a month tier can look forward to our bi-weekly X-Files rewatch pod, Do You Think I'm Spooky? Latest episode is a look at the season 2 episode, Død Calm. It's Norwegian. It means dead calm.
There was a guest star. Who was a guest star in that one? Who was it?
I can't remember. He was
the kid from Salem's Lot. Lance Kerwin? No. Yeah.
Maybe? Was he's the other sailor?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also our monthly Bring Me the Axe Millennium Edition episode, which is a bonus episode in which we explore a modern horror movie. The current episode is a look at Knife Plus Heart. It's a good flick. Good flick.
I like that one.
Steamy, sexy. I liked it.
Really violent.
Very, very, and I liked it a lot. All Patreon subscribers, even the free tier, get access to our Discord server. Paying members get access to additional channels, voice and video chat, and the watch parties option. Pop in on a Friday night, watch a horror movie with us.
Did you watch this one?
We watched this one.
Hoo-hoo-hoo!
And I gave a content warning ahead of time, and people still showed up. I'd be surprised if anybody comes to the next one.
They all showed up raring to go. They were sexy movie. You're like, no.
There was a lot of, all right, let's get this underway. And then like about a third of the way, we lost one. And then basically when the intermission dropped, I'm pretty sure everybody else checked out.
Look, I was very clear about what this movie is.
The thing was going in, I knew about it in the broadest strokes, but until now, I'd never seen Thundercrack. It's a movie that it's been on my radar for a long time, so I could only sort of like feel my way around based on what I knew and what I'd read about it. And I don't think I gave a very adequate description, but we watched a fucked up movie. Hey guys, next week will be better. Come on down.
I don't know if you're going to be able to do next week. You could just do Fireworks.
I'm looking to try to source versions that I could run, but it's tricky. These are kind of tough to catch up with.
Well, Winter Kept Us Warm just got a 4K release.
Yeah, but we'll see about next week. But the week after, absolutely.
Yeah, that's no problem.
Yep. And hey, it's get yourself a Bring Me the Axe Pride t-shirt.
Yeah,
they fucking rule. Go over to the Instagram, see the picture of me. Mm-hmm. We have some listeners who were posting theirs in the Discord. It's a fantastic shirt. It's fucking lovely.
I was wearing one today.
It's outstanding. Go on over there, get that at bonfire.com/wickedqueeraxe. I'll post the link in the show notes so you can get it. Show your pride. You rep the podcast. It's a good time. And lastly, if you like what you hear, you can subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube. Search us by name and subscribe if you prefer to consume your podcast that way. And you'd be doing us a favor by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So listen, hey, it's up to you. I don't know what else to tell you. It's so easy. Takes a minute.
I don't know why you're not doing it right. You do it right now.
As we speak these words, you could
top of mind.
You could be doing it right now. Yep. And if you listen on YouTube, do us a favor, give the episode a like and leave a comment. We love hearing from you guys. I just want to get that all out of the way right at the top of the show, because usually this is where I run the trailer, but there's no trailer for this movie.
There is.
I could not find it.
We posted it on Instagram.
That's Chandler's monologue from the thing.
Oh, okay, no, there's no actual trailer for this.
No, there's no trailer. So yeah, this movie is a fucking pansexual holocaust.
Let me take the lead. Let me unravel it.
Take the lead on this one, because I've got a lot to say about this movie.
So I have probably referenced many times my interest in the history of gay pornography, and that interest is less about the content and more about sort of the rebelliousness and kind of punk rock ethos of the movement. And the reason why, for me anyway, is that I think if you are a person or a group who is marginalized for the people you're attracted to or the kind of sex that you have, there's really nothing more radical than sort of claiming that and making pornography. That is a very, very radical act. This is, in a lot of ways, and has been in a lot of times, a political act. Obviously, for reasons that are obvious, we're not going to watch gay pornography on this show. Even the ones that would be sort of semi-appropriate, we still would not watch that, for, again, obvious reasons. But this is about as close as we're going to get. This is definitely as close as we're ever going to get. And that's because this is kind of pornography. And the reason... Go on. I'll address that after you're done. What I think is super interesting about this and about early gay pornography, sort of 60s on, is that when, specifically gay men in this case, when they got tired of this sort of cheap, lazy garbage that was available to them, a lot of it was sort of funded by the mob, they kind of took it upon themselves to be like, fuck it, why don't we just do this ourselves? We know what we want, we know what we like, we know how, and like we can certainly do it better than this. And so they kind of did. They just decided, why can't we just do this? It's very similar to the New York underground film scene of the sort of similar era that a lot of these people come out of. They sort of were like steeped in these like old Hollywood films and kind of outsider art. And there was no reason why they couldn't just take up a camera and make the thing they love. There's no difference to them between what they're doing and what like David Selznick and Douglas Sirk were doing. And so I am fascinated by this movement where they just decided we don't need to wait around for people to give us something. We have autonomy. We can just do this ourselves. And they did. And they did it at great personal risk to themselves, great financial risk initially. Some of it eventually paid off. It's a really interesting story. It's the story that for me resonated the most, not because I'm like, yay, pornography. I obviously don't have a problem with it, but it's the attitude behind it where they were like, we don't need other people to tell us what we can and can't do, and we don't need to just sort of like get whatever scraps are thrown to us. They just sort of were like, fuck it, let's just do this. Let's make our own shit. And a lot of them also made other movies, like the earlier pioneers of this went on to make not Hollywood. Well, some of them were Hollywood films, I guess. But they made like indie films and stuff like that. And so there's this huge movement that, porn eventually becomes a thing that, obviously it becomes a lot really unsavory. There's a lot of exploitation involved, but initially there wasn't, or at least there wasn't quite so much. It was sort of driven by something else. I don't want to romanticize it too much, but it wasn't what it is now. And it sort of became another a thing of sort of unscrupulous people doing unscrupulous things to sort of desperate people in need, and that sucks. But before all of that, it is a story of people sort of rallying together in this sort of DIY spirit that has always resonated with me. Now, that is why we're watching this film. That and the Kuchar brothers are fucking insane. This is an extremely strange movie.
This movie I described to you earlier, my reaction to it was, this is like watching home movies of the mentally ill.
Yeah.
But
it's so genuine. Like, they're not necessarily playing this for laughs. There are some very funny moments in this movie. But they really were just like, we are going to push all the fucking boundaries. We're going to do whatever we want. No one's going to stop us. No one knows we're even making this. And so they made this bonkers movie. And I don't know, Curt McDowell is kind of a mysterious figure. I had a
very hard time sort of finding anything of substance about him.
Because most of the stuff he made was porn.
Yeah.
There just isn't a lot
This was almost just another one of those movies until George Kuchar came along.
I think because it was supposed to be because the money that they got to make it was intended to make a porn movie. And they were like, hey, what if we make this instead? And George Kuchar is a singular vision. I don't want to say singular talent.
There's nothing like his movies.
And he is so strange. And you can see his love of film all over this. And it's so genuine. Like, he loves melodrama.
This movie is almost I don't want to say almost. This movie is it's like they watched The Old Dark House and were like, what if we did that with our weird junky friends and we put a lot of fucking in it? And then this is what comes out the other end, because there's like so many of the cues of that movie are translated into this one, like all the way right to the end. It's pretty alarming.
So this guy named Jack Smith is also a huge influence.
I watched Flaming Creatures today to sort of get a
Flaming Creatures is obviously he's got his fingerprints all over it. Flaming Creatures, I think, is 63. I want to say
1963.
And it's a little Warhol-y.
It's very
art interesting.
When I was in New York, it wasn't playing at the time when I was at MoMA, but they were showing it with also with some Warhol movies at MoMA.
Yeah, it makes sense. They kind of go together. Warhol's a hack, though. Jack Smith was genuinely interesting. The people that are in it are very interesting. It has trans people in it. There's drag queens in it. It supposedly has like a weird vampire subplot. Not really. It doesn't really have a plot.
It's not really a plot for that one. It's like 45 minutes of just wild imagery, very hypnotic shit.
But it's very obviously very gay. It's very sexual too. It's not pornography, but it is very sexual. And you can see that they were sort of taking that idea and translating it in the kind of porno chic era. Because this is the time, this is when Deep Throat comes out, Boys in the Sand comes out. There are big budget porn films in big theaters being seen by tons and tons of people. And again, so it's that idea of like, well, what, we can do that. Like, they just looked at movies and thought, we love movies. We can make those movies. Why not?
Yeah.
And there's something really impressive about that. It's a kind of entrepreneurial spirit and creativity.
Yeah.
That you just have to be committed.
When I watched the documentary about George Kuchar that comes on the Thundercrack disc, he reminded me of a guy that I about almost 20 years ago at this point, I was making short films with, and he was very much had the sort of George Kuchar approach to it, where it was like fuck it, like just shoot it. Who gives a shit? Just shoot it. There's zero fucking craft to the way he makes movies. There's even a sort of bare minimum of storytelling. He's just turning on a camera and making crazy fucking movies with his friends. And it reminded me of that guy. And he's a dude who I think about often. I haven't seen him in a very long time. But I love that.
George Kuchar, he is an artist too. And he's an actual.
Oh, like a legit artist, like a very talented painter.
Yeah, he's a very good painter. He's very good. Like, his sketches are really cool. I mean, it's obviously a lot of it is very kind of gay forward stuff, but it's fantastical. There's a lot of like kind of whimsy to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, it's edgy, but it's like there is a kind of fantasy aspect to it. He is just a guy who loves this stuff. He's still alive. He's like 92.
George Kuchar?
Yeah.
No, he died a few years ago.
I think, did he? I thought he was still alive. And one of them is still alive.
I think his brother, Mike Kuchar, is alive. But let me see when he died. 2011. Pancreatic cancer.
Yeah. But yeah, there is a love of film that you don't see anymore. And I that's probably just because of the way the internet has kind of tainted everything. It's all about kind of likes and clout. But these were just like, they made this stuff all probably just assuming nobody would ever see it.
Yeah, because they're extremely prolific. George Kuchar was aided by the fact that he was a teacher of film at the San Francisco Art Institute, I want to say. And so he was just constantly rolling camera on this dumb bullshit. And eventually was just like, because he had a connection to the Roxy Theater, he had a screen that he could just run this stuff on. So like, yeah, he made like several movies a year.
Well, and that's how a lot of this stuff used to get shown. Like if you go back and look at a guy named Pat Rocco, who was a director, early gay director in like the late 60s, early 70s, a lot of his stuff, so some of it is porn-ish, some of it's kind of softcore-y, and some of it is like just documentary stuff. Like he documented the first, I think Los Angeles Gay Pride Parade, just like that kind of like chronicling stuff. They all had relationships with like the Park Theater. And like that, theaters were independently owned. So if you knew somebody, they would probably be like, yeah, sure, whatever. You can do it on a fucking Wednesday night, or I don't care. We'll do it on a Saturday. Like the Park was a very popular like gay theater. So they would show like the Bob Mizer AMG movies, the posing stuff, like all of the gay stuff went through there. But that's how this stuff ended up getting shown. Is like, you usually just knew somebody. And that's how midnight movies come about. It's like, they were like, well, yeah, you can show it, but not during usual, like normal business hours. You can show it at midnight if you want.
They tried to make this a midnight movie, but like nobody wanted to be going home at 3 a.m.
Well, and the problem, Jesus Christ, I know. The problem too is that it is pornography. I mean, this is unsimulated sex in this movie. And it's
boy, is it.
Well, it's weird that we are talking about this in this particular way, but John Cameron Mitchell made a movie that also had unsimulated sex not that long ago.
Was it a Short Bus?
He made Short Bus, and Brown Bunny also has.
Okay. But wait, that's Vincent Gallo, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes.
Like there are movies that have unsimulated sex.
There was a
this is just very explicit.
There was like an explosion of that. I mean, about maybe I want to say like 2010-ish, like 9 songs came out. Catherine Breillat's movies are all coming out, and they got a ton of fucking in them too.
And it's all, I mean, it's a novelty. It's a novelty in this too.
Yeah.
I think in this they were trying to do something different.
Gaspar Noé did something very similar right around the same time. Yeah, there was like a sort of return of that.
Nymphomaniac.
Love is the one that I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But
I fucking hate his movies.
There's a bitter nastiness about them that I can't handle.
Yeah, he's 100% a misogynist. Dario Argento was in his last movie.
Huh.
He was the star of it.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, it's not like this had never been done before.
Yeah.
Like and also there's a history in horror of a lot of it was sort of cut in afterwards, but like horror porn, there's like zombie porno holocaust is one.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like it has been done before.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not that much. With this movie, it is very explicit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of it.
A lot more than I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, the movie's 2.5 hours long.
It doesn't need to be that long. What are you guys doing?
No.
These guys were making 16-minute shorts, and then all of a sudden they're like, I got it. We're going to keep them here all fucking night.
Oh. Wild.
Yeah. I can certainly get down with that, because there is a thing that I will tell you now, that I loved this movie when it was just an idea in my head, because in practice, it turned out that I was mostly bored. But but the way that the movie presents the sexuality is almost an anti-porno. It is entirely devoid of eroticism. It is super fucking gross, like all the time. But there was at certain points, there was like a very dangerous unpredictability about it that kind of seized me, that actually kind of held on to me in certain ways. That like, there's a moment where they start talking about enemas in one scene. And I'm like,
no.
I was like, if that happens, I am out of here. We're going to do
I wouldn't have recommended it if it involved anything more than what it has.
But just the fact that it was a possibility, like I was like, I don't know if this movie is going to take me there or not, that I was like, I was in this kind of suspended state of disbelief. But yeah, just off the top, from the jump, I didn't like this movie very much.
I mean, it's slow. It's a little bit boring. It's kind of stupid.
I think the thing is
the characters are detestable, all of them.
There are certain,
for one.
I didn't hate all of it. There is a plot line that I write, that I note lovingly throughout the script, that I think is genuinely funny just because it's so fucking bizarre. But the thing about these is like, when I was living in Florida, I went to the Enzion, which was the big art. It's not a big art movie. It's an art house in Orlando that I would go to every now and then. And they did a Kuchar Brothers like roundup of like, I don't like eight movies, I think. But I only remember a couple of them. But I remember, I think it's just the aesthetic of this sort of like lo-fi no wave thing that they do just doesn't really click with me.
Yeah, it doesn't do much for me either. Like there's the Agfa stuff and like the Bleeding Skull stuff that's getting reissued these days. I'm like,
because at the same time, like there's a lot of that sort of like DIY, like punk rock shot on video horror that's also sort of finding its way into like high def treatments. I also don't care for that stuff. I think there's my expectations of going to a movie. I can hack some cheapness, like. I like John Waters movies, but as I've also said in our John Waters episodes, my favorite John Waters movies are the ones where he's adequately budgeted working through a studio. But
I mean, I like that stuff in theory. I like the idea.
I love the
idea.
Can
go out and make anything they want, and I always want that to be the case. Yeah. But when it comes down to it, it's like more often than not, I'm going to say 7-8 times out of 10, you're getting people who are, there's a reason why they haven't actually made it anywhere, because they don't really know how to do this. And
with the Kuchars, I kind of get the feeling that they just don't want to either. Like, this is it. Guy Madden's the same way. He's a filmmaker who is just perfectly at home with his sort of like janky silent films thing, and he cranks out some fucking fantastic
I think
stuff.
that is a deep and like a genuine love, unpretentious love of the form.
Yeah.
That they don't care if anyone ever sees it. They don't care if anybody likes it. They just want to do the thing that they grew up loving. And I mean, you get the feeling too with like the Kuchars, there's probably some spectrum-y stuff going on there.
You get a feel. You definitely get a vibe.
They're very, very different. And I'm sure they were probably very different growing up too. They were probably ostracized a lot. They probably spent a fuckload of time going to movie matinees. Like, if you watch their other movies, not so much this, because this is not
terribly representative of their stuff. Whenever I think of the Kuchars, I think of Hold Me When I'm Naked. That's the one that immediately springs to mind.
Sins of the Flesh of Boys is another one.
Shit.
Pussy on a Hot Tin Roof.
I've never seen that one, in spite of the fact that John Waters name drops it constantly. Pagan Rhapsody is another one that always kind of leaps to mind.
Their shit is, well, I mean, they're a little bit different depending on whose movie it is, but you can tell they just grew up idolizing and worshiping this particular era of Hollywood.
They loved Douglas Sirk movies and just sort of women's pictures in general, which is like such a current throughout all of their stuff.
Yeah. And you can say it like it's, are they both gay?
I think so.
I mean, it seems like it, but like, there's obviously that too. They're clearly drawn to, women in classic Hollywood the way that a lot of gay men are. Sort of like Elizabeth Taylor, Joan Fontaine, all the usuals,
Yeah.
And you can see it the way that they style their characters, but this is genuine camp. This is a love of a thing. You cannot intentionally make a movie like this and get that.
No,
result.
I think that this is the direct result of one Mike Kuchar's movie. So just a thing to mention, they were the Kuchar brothers up to a certain point in the 60s, and then they split and started doing different things. Mike Kuchar's movies are campy, but they're not like his brother George Kuchar's movies.
George's movies are more sort of John Waters.
Way. His stuff is like camp. Like, I think that he is way more representative of the Kuchar name than his brother. His brother makes, I would say, like movies that sort of border on actual film craft. Like he's done a lot of.
There's a lot of sci-fi-ish stuff and like not action, but like it's not outsider art.
No,
I mean it is, but it's not. Like he doesn't want it to be.
But the stuff that we're seeing that comes from George Kuchar, it could only come from George Kuchar.
Yeah,
like there's nobody else on earth who makes movies like these.
Yeah.
But it's not just George Kuchar. There's Curt McDowell to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into that.
I don't know much about him. I mean, I've seen some of his other movies.
I've got a little bit. I got a little bit of here, but but he really is a fucking cipher. It's weird. So the most surprising thing about this movie is that the year was 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Year of our Lord. Certainly does not look it. So here were some other adult movies released that year.
Okay.
The Image came out that year.
Interesting. Makes me uncomfortable at times.
Yep.
But definitely, probably his Radley Metzger's higher quality film.
Yeah. This was a fucking big year for him because Naked Came the Stranger also came out that year.
Also an interesting movie.
Yep. Based on a book. It's a fucking porno movie based on a book.
There's a lot of that,
which I think is really, really amazing. This is a period of like the whole porno chic thing that I am fucking fascinated by because like people took time to actually like make movies. Like there's a movie in between all the stuff that the Raincoat crowd was turning out for, Yep.
I think if it was just fucking, people wouldn't have gone like flocked to the theater.
No, because I mean they did have those in the loops that you could just go to the fucking adult bookstore to see. Like this was like a phenomenon. Also in 75, Through the Looking Glass came out. Also Radley Metzger.
Interesting movie.
Also Radley Metzger. He's a fucking
Through the Looking Glass is
the
guy who made what's his face? The guy who made the one where the ending with the Just Before Dawn.
Oh, that's right. Oh, we've talked. Yeah, that's right. We've talked. I can't remember either. We've talked about that. Wild. Just Before Dawn's the one.
Don't ruin it. You ruined the best ending ever made.
All right, I'll bleep that shit. But that's the movie, right?
Yep.
Wild. Weird. Okay. Also, a film about Sharon came out that year.
Oh, okay.
I think these are all available through fucking Vinegar Syndrome. And then lastly, The Naughty Victorians came out.
Yeah, there's a lot of there were a lot of like around this time. The porno chic era is a lot of it for straight porn is like weird, sexy comedies.
Yeah.
It's very, very odd.
Yeah, it's like they saw what they were doing in like Italy and fucking Sweden and shit, where they were like sex comedies. But they had
what's his name? Stanley Long, I think is his name. The British guy.
Yeah, but they had to keep it all softcore over there. But over here, they're like, no. We're gonna give it to you. We're gonna give it to you bold in bold face type.
Yep.
Yeah. So our cast and crew, our director is, as we've mentioned, Curt McDowell. Arguably the first protege of George Kuchar. McDowell moved to San Francisco in the 60s as the hippie scene was winding down and the city's gay scene was coming to life. His intention was painting, but he moved to film when he met Kuchar and directed his first underground films in the George Kuchar style. Though they both share a lot in common thematically, poignant personal expressions couched in grotesque, campy melodrama, McDowell's departure in style took to the inclusion of explicit sexuality. Working primarily in short films, McDowell and Kuchar became romantic partners and put their heads together on the polar opposite of both of their reputations. An epic-length talking picture that combined their styles, and the result was this movie, a black and white nightmare of outrageous melodrama and high-contrast sex scenes that you can smell through the screen.
Yeah, it's not. It's sort of like, it's like the difference between pornography and actual sex, where like one you're like, oh, sexy, hot, the other one you're like, yeah, sticky, sweaty.
I'm coming here for the fantasy. Don't give me the real shit.
Yeah, you're getting the real thing here.
So yeah, he worked.
They didn't have the money to fucking fancy it up.
I don't think they would have known what to do with like a light kit and like lenses and shit if they had them. So yeah, Curt McDowell worked steadily into the 80s until he became too sick to work and unfortunately died from complications to AIDS in 1987, I think.
Yep.
In the run-up to his death, his friends scrambled to assemble his life work and transferred ownership to his friend Robert Evans, owner of the Roxy Theater in the Mission District. Several of his shorts are also preserved at the Motion Picture Academy Archive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. His sister, I think, manages... There's like a Curt McDowell Foundation or whatever. His sister manages that, I think.
Yeah.
I have seen... The only movies of his that I've seen is Sparkle's Tavern and a short movie called Loads. Which is it is what you think it is.
Is that... Are you talking about pieces? No, we're talking about loads.
It's exactly what you think it is.
And our cast includes George Kuchar, who also wrote the script. George and his twin brother started out making trashy short films in their home in the Bronx. When his job as a commercial artist, which he described as working in agencies run by monstrous women and men who couldn't see, men from Connecticut.
Look, if you've ever spent any time in Connecticut, he's not wrong.
No. That is a direct quote from George Kuchar. He was an artist in New York. When that dried up, he took an offer to teach film at the San Francisco Art Institute and began his most prolific period, characterized by ultra trashy lo-fi short films like Hold Me While I'm Naked, Eclipse of the Sun version, and Pagan Rhapsody.
And Wieners and Buns, the musical.
That's right. John Waters routinely name checks Kuchar as an influence on his early work, and you can see it in like movies like Pink Flamingos, Desperate Living, and Multiple Maniacs. Kuchar's shorts are extremely cheap and ironic riffs on the movies he grew up on. Apparently, the two of them, as you had mentioned, they spent all their time at a nearby movie theater just watching.
Yeah, it sounds like their father was sort of not a very warm or kind person.
Yeah,
and he didn't really want much to do with them because they were so kind of queer.
Yeah,
like literally, like in the original usage.
Yeah,
and so I think they just sort of found refuge in each other. They're twins, and so they like spent all of their time together at the movies.
Yep.
And that's what else can you do?
Yeah, and
what happens.
Their favorite stuff were Douglas Sirk melodramas and women's pictures, as we mentioned up there.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Me too.
Along with film, he was also a regular feature in the San Francisco underground comic scene, producing comics with and appearing in books by Art Spiegelman, Robert Crumb, and Bill Griffith. Some of his comics are in that documentary. Pretty fucking weird.
I came across a big stash of Crumb, Spiegelman, all that stuff for the other day when I was shopping for comics.
I don't really like that. I don't really like the Robert Crumb stuff.
I don't either, because he comes across as a misogynist. He comes across as like someone who really objectifies women in like a really negative, awful way.
A very particular and very weird way.
Yeah.
He seems like he seemed like a real fucking creep.
Piece of shit, yeah.
But
he's got kind of a Bukowski-ness to him where it's like,
yeah,
you don't like women, do you?
I do like Art Spiegelman quite a bit, though.
Yeah. I think Fantagraphics has been like reissuing a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. And then this movie has a whole bunch of people who only made this movie or worked with George Kuchar or Curt McDowell exclusively.
Yeah, they were their friends. It was a little bit like if the factory people had any actual interest in being or like in film, or in like or had personalities. Like they were all about being beautiful and being cool.
Yeah.
But they didn't give a shit about anything else beyond that other than drugs.
As smoking.
Yeah, and like this is the sort of anti-factory where it's like you can tell they really like each other. And otherwise, why would you do this?
Yeah.
And they really probably had a lot of fun making this stuff because, there is a ton of fucking in this movie, but there is a story and it is extremely campy and wild.
Yeah. The film's producers, the Thomas brothers, were like pretty much everybody involved in this movie, students of George Kuchar. They're
not all of them.
There were a few people. They actually had auditions for this.
Yeah, the Thomas brothers as a production company I can't remember there were like two main dudes, and then one of them was a guy who owned a bunch of theaters in either Provincetown and I think it was Provincetown and Hyannis, and he like sold his theaters to start this company.
No shit.
Yeah.
Weird move.
Yeah.
The Thomas brothers are heirs to the California burger chef fortune.
Yeah.
I've never had a burger chef burger. I wonder if they're any good.
I don't think it exists anymore, does it?
I don't know. I see burger chef stuff every now and then because I love me a hamburger.
Well, a bunch of kids were murdered there once.
Oh.
Horrifically, very tragically.
Huh.
You don't know that story?
No.
The burger chef murder?
No. That sounds mysterious.
I think it remains unsolved, though they're pretty sure they know who did it. But yeah.
God damn.
And the terrible part is that the guy, I think it was just one dude, but kidnapped 4 of them, 4 teenagers. And one of them like managed to sort of he got loose and ran away. They're in the woods. Got loose and ran away and died because he ran into a tree.
What? Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
How fucking tragic is that?
That's horrible. Horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, these are the guys who basically provided the money, but also 2 rooms in their San Francisco apartment, which served as the locations in this movie.
Obviously. Very obviously.
Yeah. Good God, the fucking locations in this movie are so fucking ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the budget for this movie? $9,000. $9,000.
Okay. That's not a lot of money.
No.
But I mean, what do you need the money for?
Mostly because they had to pay
cucumbers.
Yeah. Yeah, they went through a lot of.
They didn't pay their actors. I mean, like the acting in this is amazing.
They paid the actors $100 for the days where they shot the fucking, and then they paid them $50 for the days that they weren't fucking.
I mean, $50 is a lot. The men in this movie just spend most of their screen time like aggressively sexually harassing one another. It's kind of refreshing, honestly.
Yep. Started out entirely as a project by McDowell to stage a series of scenes of straight men being seduced by gay men, which was apparently a big turn on for him.
It would be a huge diversion to go into any of that, but it was a big thing for a long time.
No shit.
There's a lot of like weird internalized homophobia wrapped up in that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of gross because it's like, hey, there's tons of dudes you could be fucking who actually want to have sex with you. You should just focus on that instead of the ones who aren't interested.
Yeah, especially if you're in San Francisco, man.
Yeah.
You just throw a rock and you hit one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kuchar was brought in to collaborate on the script and wrote the entire thing by hand while in Oklahoma, where he apparently made annual trips to observe tornadoes.
That's unexpected.
Yeah. But somehow apropos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the thing is I suspect that that's why there are so many references to Oklahoma in this movie. This movie, I think, takes place in Oklahoma.
Okay.
Yeah. And we got a fun credit to mention. If you watch the credits at the end, makeup by Mr. Dominic. And where everybody else's name is presented in the standard movie credit font, Mr. Dominic is presented in a very stylized signature. It's very fancy.
Well, so you would see that a lot. Like, if you ever watch the credits of old movies, like whoever did the clothing, or like the so and so's dresses provided by, and it would be in the logo.
Yeah, like when we did Dracula's Daughter, I brought that up.
Yep.
But here's the thing, Mr. Dominic is George Kuchar.
Yep.
And the only makeup to speak of are the violently applied eyebrows of Mrs. Gert Hammond.
Yeah, look, there are 3 people involved with the actual production of this film. One of them is the producer, and he did the music. The others are Curt McDowell and George Kuchar.
Yeah. And so the eyebrows thing is like a fucking George Kuchar trademark. Like, a lot of his movies feature actresses with like violently drawn on eyebrows.
Because I think that was kind of a style in the 50s.
Oh, he loved not Faye Dunaway. He loved fucking Joan Crawford.
Yep. Elizabeth Taylor, same thing. A lot of times big eyebrows, like sort of brushed out and like painted on. It's wild.
It's wild. It's crazy.
It was the style at the time.
It was the style at the time. Yeah. And lastly, my last note here. The character Chandler Bing from Friends is named after 2 characters in this movie.
Is that true?
That is true. The dudes who created Friends, apparently
one of them is a woman.
Oh, really? I thought it was 2 guys. But anyway,
one of them.
They would
a gay man and a woman.
They would go and see this movie a lot whenever it's screened in Los Angeles.
Awkward.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey. They got an understanding.
That's true.
Now, I don't suppose you have reviews.
1. I found 1.
It better not be an IMDb review.
Okay, then I have
to. Okay.
I have a real one. Kevin Thomas, Los Angeles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Directed by Curt McDowell and written by zany, noted underground filmmaker George Kuchar, Thundercrack is erotica at its most hilarious and long-winded. Thundercrack features about a half-dozen young people who are as uninhibited as they are attractive. Pin in that. Sex is great fun in this film, which is absolutely, definitely not for prudes.
True.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, attractive.
Attractive? Hey.
I guess all of the eye of the beholder. Well, here's another one. The discerning eye of the IMDb user. I was intrigued to see this so-called cult film after I watched the excellent documentary Scala about the famous/infamous London cinema. It's not that good. It was claimed that seeing this film there, which was shown regularly, was some form of rite of passage. Anyway, whilst it is no doubt looked on with great affection by a certain fraternity,
oh boy,
the film is in fact utter tripe. Obviously, there are many cult films that are incredibly good and predominantly niche in some way, and there are others which mean something to a certain audience and points to happier times. And these are frequently dross to those not caught up in the initial excitement of reading acres of twaddle into what is perceived to be a unique art experience at the time. That is 1 sentence.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some opium to smoke.
Yes, I had a stroke. Lighten up,
My
man.
God.
That's me saying that.
They used the word dross.
I think they might be British, but still. I also think they might be an asshole.
This might appeal to certain people.
Probably the homosexuals.
God damn it. Oh, shit. Well, hey, if you got nothing else.
That's...
Well, we're going to dive into this movie here right after these messages. Okay, you ready?
Let's kick out the jams, motherfucker.
All right. Before we begin, I'm going to offer a rare content warning for this episode. This is, as we have mentioned, an extremely explicit movie, and as such, The discussion is going to be frank and as descriptive as any other episode of this podcast. If you're not feeling that sort of business, this is your time to bail out, and we'll see you next week with a far, far less graphic discussion.
But come on!
Yeah, hey, you guys still here? My
It's
God.
not like we asked you to watch it with us, like some fucking pervert.
All right, let's do this.
All right, perverts,
All right.
let's do this.
We open on a dark and stormy night.
Yeah, that's my first note, too.
Couldn't avoid it. Lightning flashes. Thunder cracks. Several strangers race through the black night along a desolate road in the middle of nowhere. They only shelter a crappy paper cutout of an old dark house.
I was going to say, is that a drawing of an old dark house?
It is, by Curt McDowell.
All right.
Yeah. Inside that house, we find its only apparent occupant, Gert, as she listens to a news report about the storm in her squalid kitchen. She changes the channel, ranting about how the reporter is a puppet for the weather.
Goddamn puppet.
For the weather service, for big
It's like,
weather.
Lady, he's just the weatherman. Relax. I love that she's having like a full conversation with the radio.
She's drunk.
I had a client once who used to have conversations with the local newscaster. He thought they were telling him things, and then he took his mother hostage.
Oh.
It ended fine.
Oh, that's
He
good.
also really liked the Billy Bass thing you could buy at Walmart. When we got him an apartment, we went out and got a Billy Bass.
This ought to keep him busy for a while.
Yeah, well, can't take him hostage. Already there.
He's
Not going
he's
anywhere.
forever a hostage. So she pours some more wine and sadly monologues about her husband, lamenting the night that they came.
Well, she says something about, she's like, oh, he's not Charlie McCarthy. Is she talking about Charlie McCarthy, the puppet?
The puppet. This is a big monologue about puppetry.
Okay. Do we all know who Charlie McCarthy is?
Is Charlie McCarthy the one that got passed down through the generations of sons, and then eventually they all thought that Charlie McCarthy was a real person?
No, it's even better than that.
Okay, go.
Charlie McCarthy was very, very famous ventriloquist act. I can't even... Edgar Bergen.
Okay.
Edgar Bergen was the ventriloquist. Charlie McCarthy was the puppet. Edgar Bergen's daughter is Candace Bergen.
Ah, that's right. Okay.
Charlie McCarthy was treated like a member of the family. And he ate at the table with them.
Dude, what is going on?
He insisted that they treat Charlie like he was their brother. And when he died, he left everything to Charlie McCarthy.
Okay.
And nothing to his
Because
children.
this is not the first story of puppet-induced madness. Like there was another like famous ventriloquist act where
I think Candace Bergen's father was maybe a little abusive.
that's fucking insane. But yeah, like there was another one where the guy who controlled the puppet became convinced that the puppet was a real person, and he began to sort of regard him as basically somebody in his life. And then when he died, his son took over, and he sort of he also became like convinced that the puppet was real. And so when he died, his son took over the act and inherited the delusion.
Well, what can you do?
Puppets are fucking evil, man.
Everybody's got to make a living. You're not going to inherit it, that's for sure.
No.
Not from Charlie Bergen or Edgar Bergen.
Out in the storm, we find Bing, a truck driver hauling a truckload of circus animals. Man, he hates the fucking circus. The way they humiliate these animals make him sick. All these.
Do you know what I think he's doing? I think he's doing the monologue from Taxi Driver.
Yeah, I can kind of see it, like a hard rain's gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because he's all these fat little kids with ice cream dripping down their necks because they don't give you no napkins at Carvel. It's disgusting. Also,
There on your body.
them your lips over there. Without noticing, he passes a hitchhiking stranger named Toydy. Now, Toydy is going to monologue in the rain about how birds don't have to worry about eating.
None of this makes any sense.
As he's ranting and raving.
Because I will tell you, I do not know much about birds. I do know for a fact that they have to eat.
They gotta eat. No, apparently the Lord provides, because they just go out and sort of peck at the ground and they eat worms. And so, they don't.
Jesus.
Yeah. So as he's ranting and raving about how worms aren't enough to feed him, he's almost hit by a car driven by two girls, Sash and Roo. And they're kind enough to pick him up. Now, Sash gets her lily white butt out to help Toydy get his shit together and load it into the car.
And this scene is fucking hilarious because you can tell that it's just someone with like a hose, like a spray hose.
Like shooting it up into the air.
The wind is blowing wildly. And it's like very much like there's a lot of water going into my mouth right now.
It's only raining on Toydy.
And it is just soaking. They're just like buckets onto their face. It's hilarious. But they're also talking about her butt, and I just don't care for that.
Yeah. The subject then changes how her butt used to be red back in Tucson. Pin in that, I guess. That'll be explained later.
Sure, why not?
That'll be explained later to the best of this movie's ability to explain anything.
Yeah, the dialogue in this is... It reads like someone who was mentally ill.
It's like somebody with a head injury wrote this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and they can't remember anything past 2 minutes.
Yeah. But they know what's sexy. Ish.
Before getting back into the car, Roo has Sash take her skirt and underwear off before getting back in because they are wet. And then Roo rambles on and on about red butts and letting it all hang out, 60s stuff. And since
she's like, hey, care to surface your breathing snorkel? She means take out his dick.
Yeah. Since fair is fair and Sash let it all hang out, it's only fair that Toydy does too. She tells him to whip that hog out while threatening to explain the whole red butt thing. They're really setting the whole red butt thing up.
I feel like everyone is really uncomfortable at this point.
Sash becomes so upset at the prospect of having the truth of her red butt exposed that she grabs the wheel and the car crashes, resulting in a big fireball.
Kill them all, Sash. It's the only way out.
Elsewhere, we find Chandler and Bond driving along, and they saw the explosion, and they chat about what it was that Chandler keeps looking at, because Chandler keeps giving Bond admiring glances.
Look, this is some really awkward flirting.
A
lot of mixed messages here.
Chandler Wilson of the Wilson fortune? Widower of Sarah Phillips of the House of Phillips, the Girdle Empire located in Waco, Texas?
It is extremely strange the way that he focuses very specifically on this title.
I'm going to bring up the House of Phillips Unlimited a lot because
they do too.
Because it is the one quality of the movie that I did find truly fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
So Bond,
I think there are a bunch of lines in this movie that are actually pretty funny.
So Bond keeps trying to show him his tattoos. He says he's got like a tattoo of a dodo bird. Now we're going to see Bond fully naked later on. He ain't got no tattoos.
Mm-mm. Well, because you know what he's like, you want to see.
Oh, yeah.
And then Chandler Wilson's like, Chandler Wilson, don't fuck.
No. It's all because of that goddamn girdle. Yeah, Chandler, he'll have none of it. The subject turns to the death of his wife, Sarah Phillips, who died a horrible death, something about a fire. The subject returns to Bond's body. He's disappointed that his attempts to get Chandler's attention aren't working, but they are. He finds him terribly attractive, so much, in fact, that he has half a mind to throw him out of this car.
What? That's the opposite of what he wants you to do.
Listen, Bond. Look, I'm gonna level with you. You're making me too horny over here. Nobody
can read a room in this at all.
I gotta get you out of here. The Bond keeps working his charms, sharing a smoke with Chandler, who reaches over and mashes Bond's junk through his denim jeans, just smushing it in his hands.
He is driving, sir.
They're about to get down to it when there's a knock on the window suddenly. I guess they stopped driving at some point.
Either that or she runs really fast.
They think it's a cop, but no, it's only mild-mannered housewife Willeen, who is married to Simon Cassidy. You know, the big rock star.
Country rock.
Country rock. As she demonstrates with a stack of autographed photos of Simon and brings up the explosion that happened down the road. They want to go back.
At one point she goes, what have you got against beatniks? He goes, well, nothing. Well, for one thing, they're bongo drums.
Yeah.
Which I think is great.
Yeah, she accuses him of talking like a beatnik, and she doesn't care for them. All those bongo drums, they give her a headache. So they want to go back and see if anybody needs help, but Chandler is undaunted because he is on a mission. He is going to Waco, to the House of Phillips Unlimited factory, that great mausoleum with a neon sign branding the Texas sky.
I kept waiting for him to be like, that great girdle factory in the sky.
Willeen excuses herself to go to a nearby house and use the phone. Bond and Chandler reverse course toward the explosion. Now, Willeen knocks on the house door, finding Gert alone with a bottle of wine. It takes a while for Gert to pull herself together. She peels herself off the floor and stumbles to the bathroom where she puts her face on, drawing eyebrows on like Faye Dunaway in Mommy Dearest.
And a wig.
She grabs a crazy wig, lamenting how drunk she is. And then she commits to sobering up, which involves self-induced vomiting in the toilet. Mm-hmm. She goes so hard that the wig falls off and into the toilet, which contains the contents of her stomach. Mm-hmm. And then she pulls it out and flops it on her head.
It's disgusting.
It's so fucking gross. It is so gross. And all the while this is happening, Willeen is just incessantly knocking on the door. Like endlessly. Mm-hmm. And this scene is like 8 minutes long.
Yeah, it is very long.
So it's like,
I got up and went upstairs and came back.
Like this is like as like we're talking like this just in the background. My God. So she answers the door and Willeen immediately figures out that this lady is fucking gross. Gert introduces the house, Prairie Blossom, a home built by her own husband's hand. He now lies buried in the wine cellar below them. And then she...
Listen, the phrase, her husband is buried in the wine cellar, should be a red flag. It's not, but it should be.
She reads off the names of the materials and the times that they were delivered. Friday the 13th, 1918, the day he died. Also, Gert had a son, but and she conspicuously uses these words, no longer exists.
But she also later says he never existed, but he does.
Yeah.
We don't know that until the end. And I wondered if at first they were doing like a Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that very well could be like the sort of the dramatic cue for this.
That's what it seemed like to me.
The Gert collapses suddenly and Willeen drags her to the bathroom because she is filthy and needs a wash. You know,
she's going to cleanse her with the water.
As one does.
She's going to cleanse her in the waters of Lake Minnetonka.
She draws a bath for her and throws the crazy lady in, washing her by hand. Willeen describes the marriage to her musician husband, which was wonderful, and then she, washes Gert's vagina, just giving it a real good scrubbing, while explaining that her husband's cock got blown off in a stunt gone wrong on some movie he was making.
Just say anything. Say whatever comes to mind.
Oh yeah, we forgot to write this part, so just make some shit up about your husband. All that just to use the phone. Willeen goes to call for help about the explosion, but finds that the phones are out because of the storm. She comes upon a door hidden behind some furniture, but is unable to open it. There's a knock on the door, and in walks Bond, Toydy, and Chandler, dragging in the bodies of Sash and Ruta. They're fine, though. They escaped by the
somehow
by the grace of God. Then Gert runs down the history of the house again for them, because they also need to know about Prairie Blossom.
One of them goes, she's a sassy one, ain't she? I was like, well, that's one way of putting it.
There's a lot of arguing and cracking wise. Toydy takes note of Bond's fabulous body, and Sash mouths off to Chandler in a way that enrages him. He slaps her, and he tries to strangle her. She reminds him of the ghost of his wife.
These are really reactionary young people.
They fly off the fucking handle at the slightest provocation.
In this story where he's telling this is where he tells the story about his wife dying from like she lit her girdle on fire and something. So, you know, goes.
Oh no, I got that shit all written down. Don't you worry.
Because I think I know what the influence here is.
Oh, goddamn, because I thought this was about as random as it gets. Chandler begins to explain the death of his wife, who took her girdle off at a garden party and tried to exercise her feminine autonomy by burning it. It caught fire and melted onto her, causing her to catch fire as well. The party guests tried to put her out by pouring their drinks on her, but being as they were alcoholic, it just made it worse.
Again, this is funny.
And then everybody at the party thought it was so hilarious when she fell into a nearby swimming pool. And then she died. Apparently, everybody knows who she was. Sarah Phillips of House Phillips Unlimited of Waco, Texas.
Yeah, she's a martyred saint.
Saint Sarah Phillips.
I think this is the scene in Streetcar, sort of towards the end, where Blanche is telling the story of her husband, like how her husband kills himself. And she's, because it's like, this is the story she tells, like right after she really loses her mind. Like she's kind of goes way off the deep end. Yeah. She's sort of staring off into the middle distance, telling this story that sounds really crazy. He kills himself. I don't think they say it in the movie. It's because he's gay and she laughs at him, but he also has a brain tumor. So he shoots himself in the head.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's very, very melodramatic. This movie is more Dark Shadows than it is the old Dark House, though. Like, it's just so goofy.
There's more fighting with Bond and Chandler when Chandler suggests that he's a prostitute or something. And now Curt intrudes and chills the bad vibes by offering everybody dry clothes. She takes
one of them goes, yeah. She's got some pair of boobs on her, I'll say that.
And I bet her butt's seen some plowing.
What is this? It's like someone asked a 14-year-old to write a movie, a sex film.
Yeah. She takes them to a nearby closet and sends them to a room where they can change in private in a room down the hall. She's very specific. In the room down the hall. When she excuses herself, they all wonder at Curt's body. So magnificent it is.
She's got some hair boobs.
Better butt seen some plowing. So,
God no.
Curt heads to the kitchen, grabbing a cucumber from the fridge, and then retires to a closet, moving a photo on the wall, which reveals two holes cut into the wall.
But it also looks like they're so conspicuous. Like they've got, it looks like they have like straws jammed through them.
Yeah, like somebody took two pencils and went pink. Yeah, because like on the other side, it's the eyes of, I believe it's a picture of George Washington.
George Washington, yeah.
Yeah, it looks into the room down the hall where Bond is first to change out of his wet clothes.
And dear God, this room is covered in all manner of erotic art.
All Curt McDowell drawings.
Yep. There is some Kuchar stuff in there as well.
He inspects the place. A tantric temple to all things carnal. There's photos of pinups, drawings of dogs fucking ladies. There's a picture of an ecstatic dude with both hands just jammed up the ass of a couple of guys. There's porn, sex toys, lube, physique magazines, Chekhov's sex doll, and a terrifying device.
Oh, as soon as I thought, I was like, Joe, please don't stick your dick in that thing.
That turns out to be a penis pump.
What does he do? He sticks his dick in that contraption.
Oh, yeah. This is not nearly as terrifying as the fucking auto suck from 10 to midnight. But, Chandler fires it up, jams his hog right inside.
But it is very funny because they're cutting back and forth between like silly art on the wall and the music is really goofy.
It's like a jaunty piano thing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
All the while, there's Curt. It's pleasuring herself with that cucumber. Now, when he's quite finished, Chandler is rushed out of the room by Roo. She undresses and snoops around, finding a toy more her speed.
Look, I don't want to sound prudish. It seems unsanitary to use a found dildo.
You don't know where that shit's been.
I mean, I can guess.
Only
all right, too many places
options
suited for.
Oh yeah. And this is the first moment when all of us started to kind of turn the movie, because it is remarkable just how unsexy this shit is. It is all slime and hair. It's got oh my God. And it's only gonna get worse. And now she does her thing. Sash interrupts her from the other side of the door, accusing her of shaving her legs on account of all the buzzing from the vibrator she was using. And now, meanwhile, there's all this whimsical music box music playing as Sash has a look around this heinous sex room. She undresses and plays with a puppet that she finds next to the bed. Bond crashes the scene and wordlessly undresses while she just watches. Eyes.
Now, here's a thing, everybody, and someone should have told Sash this as well. Straight men don't wear jock straps casually. Just FYI.
Oh, you got a note about the jock strap too?
Sure do.
Yep. Yeah, just eyes bulging at the sight of his bulge. He apparently came in wearing only a jock strap, which seems terribly impractical for everyday wear. When that comes out, turns out that he's also wearing some kind of horrifying condom with a face on the end of it. You might call it
upsetting.
You might call it a French tickler.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, but when you get a real close up of this thing, and I was like, that's not good. I don't like that at all.
But also, here's another thing, and I don't want to sound prudish. You don't need to have a condom on going into the room. You can put one on before.
Did he have it on the whole time? Because it's just, he gets that jock strap off, and there it is.
Because at first I was like, what is happening here? What's wrong with his dick? And then I realized, because bad message here, Thundercrack, she takes it off.
She pulls that horrible thing off, and they have sex in all manner of positions and techniques to a jaunty piano piece. It's all body hair and body fluids for days.
Yeah, see, this is what I went when Kevin Thomas was like, real sexy, hot young people. I'm like, really?
No, I know it smelled crazy in there.
I mean, maybe one of them. One, maybe.
So now Sash gets dressed, and in walks Toydy, who is just enamored with the place. Curt, still watching, by the way, still working on that cucumber.
I do like, though, that she's like, nope, come back, you're out of the frame.
Things now aren't looking too good for that blow-up doll, as Toydy eyes it first and then preps it for landing, so to speak. Give you a little,
and he goes all in.
And then to give you a little direction on his orientation, he helps himself to a nearby dildo and struggles with it in horrible black and white close-up.
Again, there are things that are, real sex is just not attractive to look at. Look, it's great to do. You don't want to watch it, though.
Yeah. Though,
and there's like a slide whistle playing the whole time.
At one point he goes, God damn it, get in there. Curt, swept away by ecstasy, leans against the wall and knocks the painting off in the sex room, revealing her hiding place. Toydy is disturbed to say the least. There's a knock at the door, and it's Willeen who invites herself in, and she recoils in disgust at the literal buttload of fun happening in this room.
She says something like, the coin of sexuality always has two faces. And I also wrote, so does the mirror.
Willeen, outraged, retires to the kitchen to complain to Curt about it. She explains that the sex room belonged to her son, who again no longer exists. Curt gives Willeen her choice of fruits to eat, and she chooses the cucumber. The cucumber, which she says tastes odd and smells bad.
I hate it. That part feels very trauma to me.
Yeah. Willeen throws it out, remarking that there's a whole pile of them in the garbage. They did not age properly with her, and I quote, hungry lips.
Nope. Don't like it. Don't ever want to hear it again.
Curt explains that her son started ordering all those horrible sex toys from magazines when he was but a 16-year-old boy. There's more yammering. Her son Gerald loved his prune juice. He liked to be properly cleaned out.
Oh,
And then he'd eat breakfast and lap up all that coffee cream just like a cat.
You gotta wonder, is he like, what's the grossest thing I can think of?
They gotta be bouncing this shit off of each other. And they're like, no, we can make this even nastier. Willeen implies that Gerald, the son, is dead, but Curt reiterates, her husband is dead. Her son is no more. And then they decide to make dinner. Out in the parlor, the guests are fucking fighting again. Toydy makes many innuendos about Bond and Chandler as they argue about who.
The innuendo, it is flying around this house.
thick innuendo. Arguing about who will go down to the wine cellar, the one with the dead guy in it, to get some wine. So Sash and Chandler descend into the wine cellar for a little look around. She is just so turned on by the way he showed Curt some sympathy when they trashed her lamp by accident. Or maybe it was how he fought Toydy. She aggressively goes at Chandler, seeking out the same attention he gives to Bond.
But read a room, bitch. He is like all but telling you to get your vagina away from him.
Roo is the same way with Toydy. She's
insane.
Yeah. So Sash undresses and puts on Bond's clothes. She's got a plan here. She undoes her pants and out flops a gigantic rubber dick.
I guess this is all it takes.
Up in the living room, we hear an original piece by Simon Cassidy. Bond and Sash dance to the song. Toydy draws Willeen's attention to the door behind the sofa, the one with the painting on it. Clearly, Curt is hiding something. Down in the cellar, Sash and Chandler fuck, talking about buses and bus routes or something. The 10:25 to Houston is arriving early, if you know what I mean.
What?
He's a little premature. The bus is arriving prematurely, you might say.
I get it. I just don't like it.
That's for the listener. Just so you understand, just so you get the innuendo. This movie is fucking innuendo city. Now, Toydy tries to butter up Curt, metaphorically and quite literally. Their conversation is about, I don't know, eating her like meat, putting her in the oven like the witch in Hansel and Gretel, and then
it's weird and gross.
And then he could eat the gingerbread house until he was sick. And the conversation then turns to enemas, and given the direction and dangerous, unpredictable vibes of this movie, I was very concerned for a moment that we were about to see a dude get an enema in a porno sort of way. Thankfully, that did not happen.
This is also where he tells Curt that you have a nice body for a woman so mature, and I wrote, that's not a compliment.
Instead, he tries to have sex with Curt using bacon grease, which has got to be terribly unsanitary.
Yeah, don't listen. I like to believe I don't have to tell anybody this. Don't do that. Do not do that.
But he gives up the ghost, letting her know that he just wants the keys to that locked door. She sours at the mention and he turns her away. She sneaks up on him with a meat cleaver, tries to chop off his dick, which was conveniently flopped down on the table. Now we cut to Roo violently filleting Bond. I was like, just brutally cranking the dude's hog in a way that could not possibly be pleasurable for anyone. She surprises him by trying to sneak a gigantic vibrator up the back door. And then finished, they run into the kitchen, finding Toydy and Curt struggling with the cleaver.
And this whole scene is like, it's giving me whiplash the way it's just like, what is happening?
Yeah, they break up the action, and as if things couldn't possibly get any fucking weirder, there's a loud trumpet of an elephant outside. And then we see a crude shadow against the window of an elephant, just bobbing back and forth. It's a little cute.
Yeah. It makes zero sense.
None whatsoever. So Sash and Chandler hide in the basement from the madness upstairs. She monologues about how this whole experience is like a fun house with those crazy mirrors. Everything is just so ugly and grotesque. Preach, girl, you're going meta. And Chandler explains his mission to her. By God, he's going to make it to Waco, to that horrible graveyard of a girdle factory with the neon sign that says House of Phillips Unlimited. He's going to go there and destroy it so he could forget.
The giant girdle factory in the sky.
he can forget his wife. For as long as they manufacture those flammable girdles, he can never be free.
And also, this is where he tells a story about like how he fucked her father.
Yeah. So here we go. Sash jorks his peanuts while he laments the curse of American capitalism. If it weren't for that accident, for his wife's death, he'd be able to have sex with women. But they all wear those terrible girdles, those House of Phillips unlimited girdles. They haunt him, so he has sex with men because they don't wear them. And that's when he's like, he intimates that he fucked her father.
What a turn. What a turn this story is taken.
But he'll soon be free. He's going to burn the whole place to the ground. Sash begs him to bring her with him on this mission. Together they'll reduce it to rubble, and then they fall in love.
Sure, why not?
Suddenly Sash screams. She finds the remains of Gert's husband in a jar, just his brain and eyeballs. And then they run upstairs to find everybody just nailing the windows shut to keep the rampaging wild animals outside of the house.
Why is there an elephant outside?
Okay, because Bing's truck crashed.
Okay.
And all the animals got loose.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So Gert explains that she pickles everything to preserve them, veggies mostly, but also the remains of her wonderful husband. She would have had more of him to preserve. But a terrible tragedy fell upon Prairie Blossom on Friday the 13th in 1918. It was a plague of locusts which fell on the house, fell on her husband, Charlie. He could have escaped it, for locusts don't eat people. But Charlie was covered in wheat dust. And as the story ends, Roo spots a man running toward the house through the window. Intermission.
And during the intermission, please enjoy the drunk piano stylings of this guy.
Here's Billy Joel after crashing through something.
After driving his car to the side of someone's house.
This was unexpected. I was like,
I feel like every movie needs a 30-minute intermission.
When I ran it on the Discord, I just let it run. I didn't know how long this thing was going to go. And after a while, I was like, are we supposed to get up and buy some fucking popcorn or something? Like
Apparently, Curt McDowell's sister insisted that if they were going to release the movie, they had to include this. They had to include the whole print, exactly as he had made it. And so they were like, okay.
Huh.
It goes on for like 9 minutes.
Well, when we're back from the lobby with our frosty beverages and expensive novelty buckets of Thundercrack popcorn, we find a new What would that look like?
That fucking contraption he sticks his dick in.
Just overflow. Instead of like put your wang in there, the popcorn just blasts out at you in the face. Your whole face load of popcorn. We find a new guest in the house. Bing, the dude who drove the circus truck. He lost control. It crashed over the bank, and now all the animals are on the loose. Bing tells them not to worry about the four-legged animals out there. Worry about the ones that walk on two legs. Like that gorilla Roo saw running around out there, thus raising the likelihood of a man in a gorilla suit substantially.
100%.
Again, don't worry about the four-legged animals. They're all old and crappy. But Medusa, that gorilla, she'll get you. She's a gorilla and loves bananas and also sex. Medusa loves fucking young men, not other gorillas. How do we know this? Well, here's a horrible story.
Yeah, I don't know why you included this.
But first, how about Sash's red butt? Remember that story from the beginning of the movie? Also, Bond is disappointed that Chandler is in love with Sash, and since she's in love with the man now, she can go ahead and tell the red butt story. Sash was apparently horny in the desert, surrounded only by the phallic growths of the local cacti.
These people are sex obsessed.
Obsessed. Can't go 5 minutes without jamming something in their holes. So she fucked one and was poisoned by chlorophyll or something. And that's how
And she says to Chandler, "Are you disappointed in me?" And I wrote, "If Chandler's not disappointed in you, I certainly am."
So that's apparently how she got a red butt, because she also didn't get all the prickers off of it. And, Bing can't believe these freaks he's fallen in with. But hey, where's Willeen? Bond goes looking for her, and Bing resumes his shameful, woeful tale of the night that he got drunk at the circus. He loved the animals, but he hated the people, and with good reason. They got him drunk for his birthday and convinced him that a whore was waiting for him when he entered. When he entered the tent, he found Medusa the gorilla.
It's just like Terror Train.
He was too drunk to notice, but he was in there fucking a gorilla, and best believe they make sure we see it.
He says, "I made Medusa dirty." You hate to hear it.
And now the gorilla is in love with him. Bing was driven mad by this encounter. He spent some time in a mental hospital, and then he went back to work at the circus where the gorilla is. But still, that gorilla watches him, desires him. when she got nowhere with Bing, she attacked her trainer, Senor Tostada.
Sure, why not?
Tearing his clothes off in front of everybody at the circus. He fought her back with his whip, but she tore him literally to pieces.
They found his head over by the snow cone concession.
To get the gorilla under control, a woman at the circus, Mrs. Harlan, took over. It was all good for a while. She even took to wearing Senor Tostada's costume.
We'll use the term woman very loosely because Mrs. Harlan is played by a man for no particular reason.
Gotta get some drag in there, I suppose. But then, she had to wear that bikini. That leopard print bikini. She, being an older lady in a sexy bikini, was rejected by the crowd. They booed her.
Yeah. Is he says that enraged the audience. And this is where I wrote, I can't believe I'm saying this, but there might be too much going on in this movie.
The gorilla grabbed her whip first and then tore the bikini off. Was the crowd more horrified by the wild, violent gorilla or the naked old lady? Who can say?
I mean, which is more disgusting?
The Medusa whipped her around. She threw her high up in the air, and Mrs. Harlan died on impact. And still, they kept Medusa on and made her do hula hoops. We see the humiliated gorilla crying. Bing can't stand what they've done to her. He can't bear to watch. And now the only thing that diverts that gorilla from murder and rape is bananas.
Okay.
I feel like I need to take a break for a minute. Like, I'm gonna shake this shit off. So, but they give us a break finally. Bond chills in the sex room with Willeen, who explains that she hasn't had sex with her husband, what with the whole dick being blown off in a movie stunt. And then the chatter here loses me. She gets some sort of elephant injection in her vagina, and while her husband beats off or something. My quote just says, "What is happening right now?"
I think I have. Yeah, that's my. I got one of those in there.
Willeen, a godly woman, is seriously grossed out by these sexy freaks, but Bond wins her over, and they have crazy gross sex too.
Mm-hmm. And he says, "Your body might be losing its cherry, but it's gaining 2 plums and a banana." The aristocrats.
Oh,
Hollywood.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, so along comes Toydy to watch them from the door. And the two of them in there, they just motherfucking, they yammer away about getting married. Roo comes along as just Toydy cranks his hog in the doorway. She wants him all up in her shit badly, but he's not into girls. But she has the keys to the locked door and will give them to him if he gives it to her. In a manner of speaking.
I see what you did.
See there? To make it happen, he watches Bond, just concentrating just as hard as he can. And when the deal is done, she hands off the keys.
This scene is very weird.
It's incredibly weird. It's incredibly weird. She just wants that gravy because the potatoes are starchy, she says. Is anybody still listening to this episode? Are you out there?
I sincerely hope so. You're never going to know how it ends.
I feel like I'm on an island here. I feel so alone right now. Oh, boy. Listener, let me know. Willeen wants Bond to take her away from all of this. They plan to flee the house, carefully navigating the circus wildlife out there. Bond sends Willeen to the dining room and brings Toydy into the room, where he reads him down about the threat of the sex-crazed gorilla out there. Toydy has a fix, though. That basement? There's bananas down there. Where they came up with this idea is anybody's guess, because nobody has mentioned anything about what's behind that door.
That's not the only thing that's behind the door.
No, Toydy says he'll cut him in on the bananas if he lets him fuck him. So now out in the dining room, Bing cops to crashing the truck on purpose. He was trying to kill himself and the animals. He couldn't bear to see them forced to perform anymore, especially where they were going. They were going to a children's hospital where apparently the injured children did terrible things to the animal. They run them over in their wheelchairs. Have you ever seen a tiger's skull crushed under the broken arm cast of a child? His own death would free him from his desire for the gorilla. So Chandler goes to see...
Curt McDowell, the one thing he was never very good at was editing.
This movie does not need to be as long as it is. It's outrageous. Chandler goes to see what Bond is up to while everybody assures Bing that his love for Medusa might be the trick that calms her violent rage. Bond, meanwhile, agrees to Toydy's proposition, and they get down to fucking while Chandler quietly enters and watches while smoking a pipe.
I think what is sort of weird here, I was actually surprised they included this scene, but what's weird is that a lot of the other scenes are kind of treated with humor. This one is not. Yeah. This is just a straight up sex scene.
Yeah. It's like the first time they're actually... I don't know what I'm going with that. I don't know why this scene is as different as it is.
It just it feels different.
It's got a different vibe.
Like a normal scene.
Yeah.
Really strange.
A lot of violent, sweaty jorking and hairy 70s dudes. Yeah. Chandler is enchanted, taking a seat by the bed. He offers Bond to pop her and then offers the story of the sex life of Sarah Phillips of House Phillips Unlimited. Something about hiding Chandler in a fold-out couch and a bird taking a shit in her mouth. It's very funny to Chandler until it isn't. The laughter turns to crying.
It's a weird scene. And it's another one of those, pulled from Hollywood. Pulled from old Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, this was featured in The Tattler. This is what W.C. Fields and his ladies got up to.
That and hating black people.
It's Tuesday. William interrupts Bond and Toydy and is disappointed at what she finds, but he's quick to explain. He did it for them, baby. He bargained his butt for the bananas, and now they can make their escape, minus Gorilla.
Ruined the moment.
Willeen is so pleased that he sacrificed so much for her.
This is bisexual representation at its finest.
Out of the room, Curt dresses Bing in her wedding dress to present him to the gorilla. He loves her and she loves him. Everybody gets ready to run for it as the gorilla nears the house. She'll come in, and when she sees Bing in the dress, they can all run for it. Curt will remain behind. It's been so long since the house has seen laughter, has seen love.
This is where I wrote, I feel like this movie's never going to end.
It has 3 endings. It's like the fucking end of Lord of the Rings. Out of the other room, Roo and Toydy get the door open. She screams. The door didn't conceal bananas. It concealed the hideous form of her son, the son who no longer exists. He staggers into the light. His testicles are massive, like gigantic...
Ball-maxing!
It says...
Everything old is new again!
My note says the gigantic ball-maxing type. Curt struggles to get him back into the locked room with Toydy and Roo and slams the door behind. Suddenly the window breaks and Medusa the gorilla climbs in. Everyone makes a run for it, leaving Bing in the house with the creature, its eyes glowing. Curt laughs maniacally as the gorilla chases Bing back into the sex room. He lures it to the bed and they happily embrace. Together they are free. Together they will create a race of Superman.
Oh.
And now Curt holds the door shut while Toydy and Roo shout for mercy. She explains that her son went to Borneo to collect erotic artifacts. He contracted some kind of swelling disease in the balls, and now she has no choice but to hide him away to be crushed by the weight of his own testicles.
Yeah, she said she had to lock him up for his safety and for the safety of her prized chickens. You're welcome, everybody.
Now that he has guests, he can do heinous things to them behind the door. Willene and Bond drive away, happy to face the future, but Bond assures her that he's definitely going to sleep with other girls. But hey, she doesn't care. She just needs that dick when the need arises. Sash and Chandler, meanwhile, drive eastward, not toward Waco, toward that hideous girdle factory. Because of her love, he no longer feels the fury of vengeance. Curt closes out this whole fiasco by pouring a drink for herself and her husband's remains while Toydy and Roo are subjected to heinous torment behind the door. She puts together a grocery list. Can't forget those cucumbers, Charlie, right?
Oh.
She pours a drink into Charlie's brain jar. And we fade to black and we roll credits on what is probably the strangest movie I've ever seen.
There you go. There you have it, everybody.
Whew.
Yeah.
Did we alienate everybody? Is anybody?
I hope so.
This one's for the true fucking bring me the axe heads out there. If you're still listening, you're a real one. You're fucking real one. Congratulations, you made it.
I mean, it's hard to see this movie as anything more than just sort of a time capsule.
Yeah.
It's extremely long. It has so much fucking dead space. It's just a weird novelty. It's kind of funny.
So much talking. Yeah, like I was seriously turned off by most of it. It's so talky. A lot of times I think it gets a little carried away with how funny it thinks it is. Like they're really like, oh shit, this is gonna fucking kill.
Yeah, like they're writing this in the middle of the night.
Like they're really like, but the whole the girdle factory subplot I found incredibly fucking funny just because of the performance that actor gives. It's so fucking wrought and melodramatic. But as he's giving it to you, he's telling you the silliest, stupidest fucking story anybody's ever told you. And I love that part about it. The sex is gross as hell. Oh my God, it's so nasty.
Yeah, it's a movie that requires a lot, like a boatload of context in order to understand before you watch it. Yeah. And even then, it's sort of like, if your heart lies with sort of the history of queer film, as mine does, it's worth seeing. Everyone else, you could probably skip it. It's goofy. It's kind of gross. Yeah.
I'm not disappointed. I'm glad that we did it. It's a movie I've never seen. It was certainly fucking funny to write this episode around it. I don't foresee it.
It's one of those movies that's like, there's a lot of like cult film and midnight movies. It's like, here's a real cult film.
Yeah.
Here's a real midnight movie.
Yeah.
Here's some real edgy shit this was underground film. Like this was edgier than Pink Flamingos. Like it's worth seeing for that.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting. But if you go in expecting a movie,
you're
gonna be disappointed.
You gotta tune your expectations. Oh boy. It makes me wonder, like, man, eventually we're going to be getting down to some Bruce LaBruce movies if we keep on this track.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. I just thought this would be a fun one because there is a story here to be told.
There's something definitely to be told here. My God, it's such a fucking commitment. Like when the movie ended the first time we watched it, I was like, my God, I have to watch this a second time. But yeah, no. It's a fucking important piece of that history. So here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we commit. All right.
Well, speaking of important pieces of history, as you said, next week, 99-cent rental, we are talking about 3 pre-Stonewall queer indie films, underground films. Kenneth Anger as Fireworks, Kurt Harrington's Picnic, and the Canadian classic Winter Kept Us Warm. I promise you, Winter Kept Us Warm is just a movie. It has a plot. It has people acting in it. It's a good film.
Yeah.
The other two are silent films.
We've been trying to figure out a way to do the films of Kenneth Anger in the past, but they're very challenging because of just how stream of conscious and arty they are. So
they are almost purely aesthetic.
Yeah. So we'll get around to that. Eventually, I would love to get around to doing his 60s occult movies, because that stuff's fascinating as fuck.
Well, I guess we'll see if we can handle these two. Picnic is another one it is cerebral.
Okay, cool. Well, and then after that,
we're closing out Pride Month with the lesbian panic film Carnival of Souls.
Hey, all right, a fucking classic piece of horror right there.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy that one.
And it's a movie about how much dudes suck.
And how scary those ghosts are. Mm-hmm. And how and organ music. Yep. So much organ music.
Yeah.
Like actual organ, not you know what I mean?
Yeah, not Thundercrack organ music.
Yeah, well, hey, if you're still listening, man, thank you. We'll see you next week with our early queer shorts roundup, and then after that, Carnival of Souls in 2.